So in this video, we're going to discuss a part of personalizing instruction um, for all students, not just students with disability. When we typically think about accessibility, we are pretty much talking about students with disability, but by making course content, especially in your online environment, accessible to all students, studies show that they work better. Students connect better to the material, to the content that you use. Disability is not really talked much about when learning design, but it is a necessary topic. I've asked the Disability Services Office to help provide me with some materials to use for this week or for this particular section, and you can see they sent me a chart that shows the number of students that they've serviced in that office since the 2006-2007 school year. And as you can see, it has really grown since the first year of tracking in this spreadsheet. It's pretty much doubled the number of students that they've serviced, showing that more and more disabled students are actually meeting requirements to be accepted into higher education. For some reason, I don't know where it came from, I have a fly that is harassing me while I'm trying to record this video. This current year, they don't have numbers yet for, but they did tell me that the DSS office did tell me that they are currently serving about 85 students just in online courses as of in the fall 2016 term. The research shows that students with disabilities perform better in online courses than in a traditional classroom setting. Much of this has to do with there being more options for communicating with the instructors, and that making online curriculum accessible provides a better connection for the learner. One of the concepts used in design for accessibility is universal design, and we tried to provide you with a couple of articles that discuss this a little better, so we're not going to get too involved in that. But by making a course accessible, not only benefits students with disabilities who are registered with the university's Disability Support Services Office, but it actually provides benefits for all students. Now think about the influx of older adult students that we've seen in education since 2008. Many of these older adults are returning to academia to either better their means for promotions in their current job fields, or are no longer able to perform the jobs they once held due to injury or disability, or have lost a job and need to open up other career options. Many of these older adult students don't even know about the services that a disability support services office on campus can provide to them. And many don't want to register for these students because of the stigma that is applied to disability. They don't want to be judged or discriminated or humiliated just because of, they fear that they will have some form of harassment because of their disability. Now, I have had to register with the DSS office because I do have some vision problems. I've developed 2 cataracts in my left eye, which most of the time I just see a blur out of my left eye. Everything's just a blur out of my left eye, which makes it really difficult for reading. And I have to have things in large print or in an accessible format, so I can enlarge the print myself when I'm trying to read something if I'm having difficulty. And that's kind of one of the things that some publishers don't even think about. Many book publishers don't even think about making accessible formats of textbooks for students who have print disabilities. And instructors often don't take that into consideration when they're selecting a textbook for the course. Like our textbook for this semester, I had to spend $70 on a textbook that I couldn't get in an alternate format. So I had to take the book to the Disability Support Services office, and they had to cut it apart, destroying the book pretty much, and just so they can run it through the document scanner to put it into a format that was accessible. So now I have a $70 pile of papers in a drawer that really is just no good but to throw away. And another downfall to actual scanning, having to have the book scanned, is that the scanner misses pages. Oftentimes, often it's just like in the middle of the semester when you're reading, the chapters in the middle of the book, and it's missing a bunch of pages. And I ran into that actually this semester. So you have to take the pages back and have the book rescanned, just so you can try to make it get those other pages to be able to read them, which is time consuming for everybody involved. When an instructor offers course content online, students themselves can utilize various tools to personalize the content in a manner that is more accessible without too much extra effort. For instance, a PDF document can easily be enlarged on a computer screen for reading, or even converted to another file format where the text can be enlarged. Or for students who need text-to-speech, the use of text-to-speech software, there is an optical character recognition software, usually built into like Adobe Acrobat, to where it actually turns the text on the page into a format that can be used by these text-to-speech readers, so the text can be read aloud to the student. Offering content online also makes it easier for students to deliver the content to the DSS office without too much trouble if they can't put it into an accessible format themselves. Now, there are going to be 2 more videos in this section. The first is actually going to show you how to make a document accessible utilizing one of the documents that one of the other groups provided this semester during their teaching their group demonstrations. And then the second is going to talk a little bit about utilizing gameplay and how it works with students with like Asperger's and autism, which is kind of how the achievements for this week's instruction were developed. And there's one more thing that I wanted to kind of skim over before I ended this video. And this was another document that was provided to me by the Disability Support Services office at UCO. They actually sent me a sample of the accommodation letter that students received to give to their instructors when they are granted accommodations by the university. And I just wanted to give you a little this example, just to kind of show you just some of the things that um, some of the accommodations that are granted to students, which might help you even more realize the necessity for building accessibility into your courses. Typically, a lot of the ones that you'll see are towards the bottom of the list. The ability to take exams and quizzes in alternate times, in alternate formats, whether they get to use a computer to take the test or not, using screen readers, using screen magnifiers, ability to use text-to-speech software, and even speech-to-text software, where you like a dictation system, like Dragon, Naturally Speaking, where you can use a microphone and talk to the computer and tell it what you want it to type out for you. And then, of course, the use of assistive technology and your computer for note taking or alternate note taking methods, and to have class textbooks and materials in an alternate format.